I'm here on the Rosenhain, about 10 walking minutes away from the University of Graz. This is a gorgeous area with huge villas, wonderful estates with nice grounds. Every university town has a district for those who have more means, have ties to the schooling or to business that are tied to schools. Often enough, in older European cities, these estates don't change often hands, and when they change, they always do it at a premium. Behind me is the building for social and economic sciences and business at University of Graz, and I am in the district of Geidorf, where the school is. And Geidorf is a little district to the northwest um, that has about 23,000 inhabitants and a lot of students who come in every quarter and every semester to study. Having a place like close to it can be a gold mine if you know what to do as an investment. Take a peek at the building behind me. This is just adjacent to the legal building of the University of Graz, where law is taught. Now I want you to pay particular attention to the last floor with the modern windows. This is a good example of what European traditions try to incorporate. You have a wonderful building with an old facade, and on top, and probably inside, a very modern apartment that looks classy and stylish. Universities and schools can be great places for businesses. With so many students present, you can provide everything from entertainment, banking, sports, foods, evening enjoyment. There is a broad field of ideas that need to find real estate just around the school or in their proximity. In European schools, that usually and often are in the city towns and city centers that have kind of organically outgrown themselves, buildings are often used for classes, for hosting departments, and for activities. So real estate around schools is always something that you can probably find good use for. And who says that buildings around universities are just for cheap students? I have in front of me, just behind the camera, the building of the medical faculty here at the University of Graz. With this competence center, a knowledge center of medicine, there is a great group of people who come together to either learn, study, research, teach, test, and they need buildings and living space close to those facilities. Just look at this board here of how many teachers, how many professors, doctors, specialists from all kinds of places. We have Greece, Spain, Hungary, Poland. All of them need to find a good office building. And this is just one of them of many around. And at every university, there's professors, lawyers, doctors, historians, philosophers, many of them very, very well paid, or with additional incomes from their activities in the private sector. They, however, are looking for a nice, comfortable space to live close to university and not too far. So around usually every school that's a major university school or campus, you'll find a district that has very expensive high-end homes that are home to mostly professionals, but others that can afford them. And so it is here in Graz. It's called the Villenviertel, the district of villas, or the Rosenhain, a particular hill that is not too far from here. Let's look at some of the properties that you can find here. Here is a bank, a salad bar, cocktail place, beautician. And here we are at the Rosenhain, the expensive investment and living part for properties close to university. Here is where you find the nicest villas in town, all viewing the sun, the west, and having gorgeous, gorgeous yards. And you find both modern buildings and traditional older buildings. They kind of integrate beautifully. I'll show you a couple. Behind me you find one of the villas on the Rosenhain, close to Graz University. It's a modern villa, huge and nice, very modern, viewing the west of Graz. A building that is located in a university town that is of some size, and in that part of town where usually professors and those higher ranking managers live, have great investment values, and you want to keep and hold on to land and property in that area. I'm here in the Villenviertel, the district of the villas of Austria, about 10 walking minutes away from University campus. This is a hill with gorgeous views of the west, and look behind me at this villa. It stretches over 1, 2, 3, 4 floors. It's huge, it's beautiful, and great property along with it. This type of investment, if you can afford it, will almost always keep its value. However, you have to deal with upkeep and taxes and similar things, which make it usually an imperative for it to sublet or to use it for commercial purposes.